So carrying on from the previous message, don't lower your standards ever, because you are always showing other people what you're willing to accept and tolerate, and you don't ever want to put yourself in a position where you have been tolerating and accepting suffering. And this can easily be taught from the home. So for example, if you have parents that, let's say, just make a lot of mistakes, and not just your average mistakes, they make a lot of mistakes, and they expect you as the child to always forgive them. If you're always forgiving your parents, knowing that they do things, and I'm not talking about your average mistake, I'm talking about big mistakes, harmful things, okay, on the lines of emotional abuse, neglect, etc. If your parents teach you that you have to forgive them for those kind of behaviours, they are setting you up to be abused in this world. And so it is very, very important that you trust your intuition. You pay attention to the things that scream at you, actually this is not okay. And it doesn't matter who it is. And I think that's really crucial. It's very, very important. Don't let these relationship titles or anything else demean your inner knowing. You really have to trust yourself. And so don't lower the amount you love yourself to allow people into your life, but be wise. Be very, very wise. Like, especially in your younger years, you're so young. I can't express to you how young you are, and in the sense of not to be patronising at all, it's just like your brain is so fresh, like your brain is so new. So whilst you may have a lot of experiences, and you may have a lot of experiences that are or have a quite great amount of responsibility from you, it doesn't necessarily mean that you are mature enough in mind to handle them. Sometimes we are given experiences that we're not mature enough to handle. We handle them, and that's brilliant. It's amazing. Like, you really do need to praise yourself if you go through exceptional hardships and you manage to overcome. But I think looking back retrospectively, you will be able to always see how young you were, even to the point where you could look and think, that shouldn't have happened to me, especially at that age or whatever else. And so, leading on to keeping your standard of self-love high, in terms of what I've been discussing about mostly this week, when people lead with sex, you really have to be wise in the sense of the younger you are, the less likely someone is to really know themselves. And I say that because depending on your environment, you know, how you're raised, etc., you're just a carbon copy of that, you know. So you've not really like explored the world or been truly independent. And obviously, I'm not speaking to you if you know that that's your life experience. Like, if you are able to find solitude really early in life, if you've been able to spend lots of time by yourself and safely, then the likelihood is that you've been able to explore your own mind and develop a mindset that is aware of these things. But when you're in environments where you're all just trying to survive and navigate the world around you, you become like the world around you. Right? It's basic. It's like if you put a piece of fruit next to a piece of fruit that's rotten, the rot will decay the good fruit. It's just how it is, and that's not to say that the environment is decaying you. I'm just using that as an example because it's very easy to see it on a visual level. But anyway, back to, if you get people that lead with sex aren't usually intelligent enough to maintain real relationships, but also that will show you straight away that they're not trying to have real relationships. They have no idea what real relationships are, and it's a real shame because, again, I think that people can be very ignorant of the impact that they have on others, and it's really important. And it's really important and personal to be intentional with how you deal with other people. Like, it serves you to operate with intention. It serves you to do well by other people. It doesn't serve you to harm other people. I'm sure there's not a human being in this world that can put their hand up and say, who's not a cold-hearted, horrible person, but who can say that, you know, harming other people doesn't do anything for them. You know, what do you gain from being nasty to anyone? What do you gain from rape, sexual assault, domestic abuse? Like, you just cause harm, and maybe in the moment it might make you feel good about yourself, it might boost your ego, but again, we're talking about people who clearly aren't able to see themselves anyway, because it serves no purpose to walk around this earth being monsters. Like, why? You have a beautiful, amazing world that is able to nourish us, literally, if we honour the land properly. So it doesn't make any sense to be vicious and malicious and, you know, do bad things to people. So I guess where I'm leading with this is like, you have to be wise enough to protect yourself, and you also have to recognise that, unfortunately, not everyone around you is going to have your best interests in mind all the time, and that can also stem from a place of people not loving themselves. So if they don't love themselves, their capacity or ability to nurture you and look after you is going to be low. And also, if they see that you're kind, whilst it is a really beautiful thing to be able to keep showing your kindness, because you've really got to be real. Like, some people don't know love. Some people don't know actual kindness. Some people have also themselves experienced knock after knock after knock, and then come across new people and thought, you know, maybe these people will be the people that will treat me well, but unfortunately don't. So it's like just a negative cycle, right?